Okay, so Jira, like I said, very critical, is an agile delivery, is a tool that supports agile delivery approach. So you definitely require the skill of Jira. Trello is basically a visual task management tool, and it's also relevant today because Trello has been integrated with a lot of AI tools, scheduling, and also most of the tasks you see project managers perform, like chasing up on stakeholders, sending email reminders, trying to get their availability. All these tasks had now been automated. So Trello, especially the current Trello, has a lot of automation tools embedded in it that just encourages smooth work within a project team. So Trello now has been upgraded to incorporate most of this tracking elements, reporting elements that helps the team to thrive as a project team. So for project managers, you are just well on point if, of course, you are exposed to Trello. So we have smart sheets for planning, high-level planning. We'll talk about high-level planning where a project manager is trying to understand the different activities across the different stages of the project, to collaborate, to track progress, to getting your Gantt charts, to tracking your burn down charts, and all these different concepts that comes with project delivery, because these are concepts that helps in project tracking. Because remember that while project is temporal, we cannot just depend on the fact that we have a start and end date of project delivery. A lot of things happen between that start and end date, including tracking. So we must ensure that as we have the start and end time or end date, we expect to track per milestones. So we need to know what milestones we are trying to achieve and what time we're trying to achieve these milestones for. So that would give us that headway, because that's the whole idea. So Smartsheet helps us to do all this. And Azure DevOps, of course, when we talk about backlog optimization, backlog management, Jira also do a lot of backlog management, product backlogs, sprint backlogs. Azure also support backlog management and collaboration for teams. Draw.io and Miro, these are critical for business analysts especially. Yes, so this Draw.io, it helps for process flows, the wireframes. Because business analysts, they imagine a lot, they ask a lot of questions, and they draw process flows. So as they are engaging you, they are trying to know what you want, they are trying to understand your current process, they are trying to either automate the process and make it seamless, or they are trying to remove the bottlenecks within your processes. So they are asking you questions, you are telling them what you currently do, and they are documenting it by way of a flow. They are giving instances of the different touch points and the different systems you interact with at different times, and this pretty much helps in drawing up what we call process flow for business analysts. So Draw.io and Miro, these are applications that you need to know as at today, as at the current time. You need to have an understanding as to how to navigate your way as a business analyst. That's if you're pitching for that, you need to have your way around these applications. Then we have Mural Board. Mural Board is also very critical now, especially for envisioning sessions where collaboration is critical, when team members are trying to engage stakeholders that are far off. So you would find, because of the remote nature of project management teams, you would see that I've worked in a team, for instance, where the developer is from India, the client is a UK client, the Scrum Master is from Nigeria. That's the project manager, and the Scrum Master is a Nigerian-based professional. Different stakeholders across different regions. And how do you collaborate? So we have Mural Board. So during requirement gathering, for instance, for business analysts, you need Mural Board for such dispersed stakeholders. So if you want to gather requirements from stakeholders that are far off from you, you need to know such tools as Mural Board. You need to know how to navigate it. You need to know how to collaborate with Mural Board, and that's the idea. Okay, so these are very, very critical tools. There are other ones, but these are, for me, I consider as just up there, very important you have them. And then these are hard skills. By the time you pick these skills up, they become for you hard skills. They become for you a skill that you cannot be stripped off of. So they become hard skills for you. So if eventually, for instance, you decide to, after having been exposed to these different tools, and you decide to be a Jira professional, within project management, there are Jira experts. Within project management, there are Jira admins. So you could even go another step forward to say, oh, I want to become a Jira admin. I want to become a Jira administrator, which means in big organization, there is someone managing their Jira, all their Jira activities. So there's an administrator who manages, who tracks, who provides reports, who do a lot of things around Jira beyond just collaborating on Jira. So yes, these things, very important you know them, okay? So it's the same way you could become professionals or experts in different tools. So not just knowing these tools for for working as a project manager or business analyst, it's also important you know these tools to be able to of course upskill these tools to the tune that you might become even a professional, and you can even earn from just knowing these tools. Yes, that's also another opportunity for you. Great. Okay, great. So I want to believe that we are all on the same page. So these are documentations and frameworks that are the in thing that are currently being practiced. They are the I would call them the industry standard documentations that currently are being utilized by organizations across the globe. So WBS, for instance, work breakdown structure that helps you to break down work items into manageable bits. So there's a strategy that project management professionals you deploy in identifying the smallest work item, because project is in the detail. Delivering project is in the detail. So as tiny as send an email to the clients and schedule a requirement gathering workshop session is as critical as building the application. So those very tiny tasks and activities need to be broken down and needs to be identified, so that as you're delivering, you already have visibility as to what you want to do, and at what point or at what stage of the project you're currently at, you already have visibility as to what you want to do per stage. Very, very important. Now, we also have what we call BRD. BRD is a business requirement document. According to the Business Analysis Book of Knowledge, there are different categorization of requirements. Okay, if eventually we get to the part where if we get to the training part and you opt for the training, you get to be exposed to requirements, the ways of different ways of gathering requirements, the types of requirement documentation, requirement documentation, and the practical aspects to these documentations. But just at the high level, I'll tell you, business requirement document is simply saying, what is the business saying? What do the business want us to build for them? So it's that one document that highlights the business objective. This is what we clearly want. This is where we are driving as a business. We want to meet this mark by 2030 or by 2025 or by 2027. We want to do something around space. We want to do something around launching our first spaceship, for instance. And the business is saying this is our objective. We want to get it off the ground. And the business is saying that to achieve this, we require XYZ. We require certain professionals to come in and, of course, help us in building this spaceship. Okay? The business is basically highlighting the goals and the objectives of the business, the problem they are trying to solve. Over the years, possibly the business had lost certain business opportunities by not being in that space where they have spaceships. They might have lost certain opportunities and now they are trying to bridge the gap. That could be the problem. Their revenue might have dropped because they rent another spaceship owned by another company, and that could have been the problem. So now they want their own spaceship and they want to organize a team of professionals who could build the spaceship. That could just be the problem. Okay, so a BRD highlights the business problem, the business objective, the scope of work, what it is that the business wants to achieve, the relevant stakeholders you want to engage, and all. So it just gives an overview of what it is we are dealing with. Now, functional requirement document are largely systems requirements. So now you have told me you want a spaceship, but how would the spaceship work? What button needs to send what signal to the spaceship? How do I need to press this button to be able to send this signal to the spaceship? So if I press a stop button, for instance, the spaceship should recognize that I've pressed it and it should stop. So a functional requirement document specifies how the system should work and respond to stakeholders or users. So it's that document, if professionally written in detail, shows the entirety of the system, how the different elements of the system works, what should happen, how the system can be triggered, how the system can be turned off, how the system can be turned on, how the system can assist people. These are the documents that we require in this context. Functional documents. Okay? So FRDs in the context of project delivery just provides the system specifications. Like I said, a whole lot, of course, also hover around this aspect of things, because a lot of training is required and a lot of directions as well is required. Should you want to go for further training, of course, we also do that at the Agile Foundation eSchool. So that's where we come in, really. PDD documents, process design documents, and solution design documents. These are documentations that are very relevant when we are talking about automation in project delivery. Automation and AI, of course, they are just one and the other in terms of they're like siblings, I would say, because automation, AI powers automation. So there are AI powered automation, there are robotic powered automation. So there are different levels of automation. So if you want to be relevant within AI powered automation, which is the in thing as we speak, which is currently being practiced. So we've kind of drifted a bit from robotic automations because of some of the limitations, but now we are talking about AI powered automations. So you want to power your automation end to end such that, for instance, someone is speaking to your client, but it's AI, and the client is engaging AI as though it's a human, and AI is able to identify all the information they need to provide to the customer, and is able to respond to the customer in a very empathic way that the customer service person would imagine writing on ChatGPT and telling ChatGPT that you have a bad day today. Imagine the response. Or they will try to sympathize with you, they try to advise you, they try to recommend certain things. That's the sort of automation that is going on in the project delivery space as we speak, such that customer service representatives have less and less to do, because now AI is responding to people, AI is responding to chats, AI is responding, and with the right emotion, at least, even if not 100%, with at least close to 95% of the right emotions that humans typically would exude when engaging potential customers. So PDD and SDD documents are documentations that help in producing such AI-powered automation. So yes, there are technical there are documents that will help you expose, that would help you expose what the automation should look like, how the processes are like, what it is you want to do. And this documentation, there are, again, structured knowledge around them. Okay? Now we have the PSR and the value case document. I think I have spoken a bit about the value case document. So basically, trust me, at the end of the day, the objective of this bootcamp is to steer you, engage you, and have you, put you in the right paths. And then if you want to engage with the eSchool, the Agile Foundation eSchool, you're able to also engage at different levels. So we have different offerings. We have packages for professionals who are trying to, of course, navigate their path within that role. Possibly they just obtained a job. We have, again, room for guys who are totally new within the project management space, who wants to learn in a structured manner, who want to pick up project management structurally in a way that makes sense, and then they are able to be put on the right path. Yes, we also have a package for such. We again have package for those who are currently on the job and they need assistance, more like an assistantship program where you'd have a doppelganger, a second, who would typically be offloading certain work from you. We have a program like that. And again, we have a program that helps to, just help you, put you on the path. So we have different programs for different professionals, for the unique roles, or for the different roles that you might find yourself at this point. So I will tell you, it's a great thing if you engage this team today. You just send a mail and you'll be responded to. So some of the things that are being offered within the Agile Foundation eSchool would include the methodologies, of course, exposing you to the real-time intricacies or the mindsets when we talk about Agile methodology with real-world experience. So showing you, for instance, how to manage project, how to track it, showing you, for instance, beyond exposing you to Jira, having to track projects on Jira so that you get to see and you have this experience. So that's some of the things you'll be exposed to, including the many tools and techniques, as was mentioned earlier, the Jira, Trello, Draw.io, Miro, Moral, Smartsheet, all these tools, and including some more that, of course, are not considered latest, are exposed. You'll be exposed to this as well. Okay, so at the end of the day, you'll find that your exposure to Agile methodology and real-world experience will already expose you to the reality of Agile environment. Now, another critical thing that a lot of professionals, a lot of students struggle with is with interview preparation and one-on-one mentorship. So there's a weekly program for interview preparation, bringing you up to speed to different elements of the interview preparation is bringing you up to speed to the different elements of the requirement from the different walks of life. So this organization, that organization might require this might require this country might require that. So we are pretty much going to be exposing you to the different rounds of the ways you could engage. So if you want to then begin to apply to the UK, for instance, your interview preparation will be direct to where you are aiming for, okay? And mostly focused on remote roles and international roles, to help as well with that one-on-one mentorship. You are, of course, going to be, well off for it. So we have a CV review and personalized project portfolio. So you set up your portfolio for you, of course, pretty much helping you set it up, working with you to set that up and thoroughly review that for you. So every project professional needs a portfolio, trust me. That would set you apart from other professionals, especially if you're still job hunting. So we have the practical work experience, and then most importantly, the Agile Foundation eSchool through her donor program already offers one certificate. So there's no way you go through the Agile Foundation eSchool and you do not have at least one globally recognized Agile certification, be it a Scrum Master certification, Product Owner certification. Just you would be required, you would be entitled to at least one Agile globally recognized certificate. Okay. Now, in the event you then want extras, because there are also extras like, oh, you don't have time for job hunting. We assign an expert job hunter to you, right? But that comes at an extra fee. So we assign an expert job hunter to you that helps you to navigate, just that works with you, engages with you. You would of course be having sessions once in a while to understand what it is you're doing, where you are driving, and then they're able to work with you in your unique expectation. So it's going to be like a human assisted job application, because I've seen instances where a lot of persons are lazy, I would use that word, after having enough skills. Either they are lazy in terms of structuring their CV well enough, or they are lazy with respect to, after having a good CV review, they are lazy sending out applications. So these elements are very, very critical. As a practitioner who is going into this space, you need these things figured out for you if you do not have the time for it. So it's very, very important. And then we do the portfolio review. So at this point, it's left to you to either pick a side if you're a dreamer or an actor, as you can see on my screen. So if you want to take action, just simply send a reply to the email. We have a partner, a marketing partner, whom we have engaged, of course, have engaged to engage with the students and as well with the trainers. So I'm directly engaging with the marketing partners, and as it stands today, you can respond to the emails, you can have your questions clarified, you can send in your emails, and that will be responded to. So you can either call the line here, or you just send an email to the marketing partners, who will pick it up and escalate accordingly.